Unless they're like right there.
Yeah.
I can send a little scout out.
Yeah, you can send. There's a couple of units that you can send through the brush. Maybe some skirmishers, because they have hide, don't they? These brigands. Oh, there they are.
Oh, they're probably waiting for their reinforcement to come in themselves.
Okay. Well, we got a lot of troops.
Yeah.
We'll make sure our general doesn't die this time, so we'll be.
Yeah, keep him
we'll
at
be
the
in
back.
good
It's
shape.
so stupid putting him on a wing like that on his own.
Sorry, you didn't realize that
Lesson
they were going
learned.
to come out.
Yeah.
I thought they'd hang around instead as well.
I thought easy win. We're just gonna push in on two sides, run up to the town, just like basically just easily win.
Yeah.
And then just like, oh no, look, they're pouring out, and then it's just like beeline straight to my general and my onager. So they took out like my two best, my two most important units, and then there's just no coming back from it.
Yeah. It's a shame we can't see them because of mist, because otherwise we could lay down some onager fire. Oh well.
It's still moving up there actually. There it is there. Get it on top of this hill. See if we can push these guys up even further.
Yeah, definitely should be doable. Oh, here we go. They're starting to slowly shell up. Ah, so they're trying to come up through the trees maybe, around the side.
Maybe. I think they try to go for the angle of least elevation, so this is like not as steep as, say, over here.
Right, that makes sense. Because
They-
otherwise
they
they'll be
might come head
exhausted
on.
when they get up.
Yeah. Well, they're taking the time, they're doing what they should.
So you guys are very tired because they've marched up from across.
Yeah, I ran them, but they'll be fine.
Oh, yeah,
By the time they
those
get
guys
here,
get
yeah.
here. It looks like they're coming in from...
No, they're just everywhere. Oh, actually, my onager is firing now. Not too sure where to go. About here.
Cinematic camp, nice. So you may have...
Holy God, the distance, because it's downhill.
Hey, and you burned a couple of horse guys. It's not bad.
I don't know where the general is. That's what I'll be trying to do, repay the debt.
Yeah. Oh, you got the spearmen right in the middle of the squad.
Oh, that was a good one.
Perfect. Look at that.
I just saw the health bar like go down. There's a lot of guys that went down in that shot.
The Nordic levy are actually pretty good. Oh, another good hit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Got loads of units now. Oh my God. Alright, this is where it gets serious.
Alright. Man, this is quite an army. So what do they got? They got, they're mostly spear units.
Oh shit, cavalry.
Oh, okay.
That's alright though.
That
Just
that
managed
cav
to
squad
spot
is
it.
basically dead. That second one should die very quickly if you charge
Yeah.
it.
We're charging downhill as well.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
You guys just completely missed them.
Oh yeah.
Brilliant. Someone wants camera mode for the charges.
Unit
Oh,
cam.
Yeah.
Oh, we're still leaning away pretty fast where we should be.
We can probably get our archers on some of these guys as well soon.
They should be firing at will. It's on.
Maybe they can't
Oh, they're
see
just
him yet.
yeah.
Just out of range. Excellent.
Come on, guys.
Oh, there they go.
No, that's them. They're firing into me.
Oh, right, okay. Alright. Oh, you got a tree on fire. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's so hard to see through the trees as well.
Yeah. It's
might-
good because it kind of recreates.
Might need to pause this every now and then just to really figure out what I'm
Fine,
doing
it's a
because
huge
it's big. That's good that we actually have 3.
Yeah, they're right there. That's going to be very handy.
So let's just have a quick look at what's going on. I don't know why my archers never fired. I mean, normally...
Do you think they lack line of sight down the hill?
No, it doesn't... Like, once anybody can see them, they know they can aim. They should be able to fire, like, volleys, like, up in the air. They do that when they fire over walls of cities, so...
Yeah, you're right, they should...
I don't know why they're not doing it. It says they're firing, actually, now, though, so maybe they'll start shooting off a few rounds. I don't know why they took so long, though. Because we should have that downhill advantage.
Yeah, that should have
wasted it.
Oh well, I mean, you still have the tidiness advantage, which actually does make a big difference.
Actually, did I put the sound back on for it? No, I didn't. Nobody even said that. There's no sound for like clicking units and stuff. I was thinking all I could hear was the music.
There we go.
Right, well, they're firing over there a little bit.
Okay, that's good. Your cavalry have done well. If they beat these guys, they can detour on the side as well.
Enemy units have been rallied.
Your melee should generally outclass theirs because spear units are generally worse than your cavalry, your sword units. Those archers are very peppery. Our guys aren't
Men are broken and running for their lives.
Do you think you can hit their general unit from where your archers are?
I tried with the onager. The arrows are just a little bit out of range. These guys should just be able to do it. Their cavalry's just better.
These archers. Uh-oh, their spearmen are broken through the
Yeah,
line.
that's not good.
Men are broken and are fleeing.
Actually, that will be a big advantage, coming in through the side with your... yeah, that will make a huge difference.
Oh, it's a mess on this side though.
Got another sword army.
The men are broken and running for their lives.
Use this. Why would he use it? Oh, that happens sometimes as well. Don't have time to focus on it either. I'm not gonna win this.
No, you put a good fight. I mean, with the ambush disadvantage, that makes a huge difference.
They just had too many troops.
Yeah.
But they attacked right as well. They waited until they formed their whole thing
Our
up
men
and just went
return
out.
to the fight.
Went at it as one big army basically.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you're not doing too badly in terms of flat casualties. I think you feel quite well in
That's what we can do.
Oh well, okay. Sorry guys.
Well,
We may need to withdraw.
you can do it, Darren. I'm sorry. Well, just tried to zoom in on him, but he died. He ran away
Died
straight away.
instantly. There we go.
Oh, just got cav charged.
Right into it.
General's gone. Everyone's gone.
That's it, we're dead.
GG. Sorry, the campaign.
Close to defeat though.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, it's just they just had too many, and they attacked properly. We did have a big hill though, so I don't know.
We haven't showcased the Alemanni yet, but we're
Like
going to...
1,200 more men than me.
Yeah, you did quite well actually. You killed almost the same amount of men. But we're going to show you a couple of the units in the custom battle afterwards. So don't worry, you haven't missed out. You'll still see some things about them.
Yeah, so we'll just run through the units and the faction traits again one more time.
Yeah.
That'll be it.
So, yeah, I mean you did okay. You're pretty respectable.
Not good enough.
Good losses. Good losses. Oh well.
Yeah.
Never mind.
No, it's all just because of that initial defeat. You know?
Yeah, that first one. The guy took a great runaway path as well, and they're going to come in. Oh,
No, they backed off.
okay. Well, that's not the end of the
Yeah,
world.
I mean, I don't think it is either. I mean, we could just get inside the town and we'd actually be able to kind of defend it much better. What I would do is, if we were to continue, is like I put all my cavalry on the outside and let them come in as reinforcements.
Yeah.
Keep all the infantry on the insides and replenish for as much as I could.
Yeah.
And then go from there. Like, as soon as they didn't follow it up with another attack or even come in further, I think we'd be safe for another turn at least. They need to replenish. They're not good enough for a siege.
They're not going to do anything.
But Jesus, neither are we.
We're not going to actually play the Elements of Mogurdians, but we'll run over their faction traits, and we'll do a quick look over the map of their start pods as well in a sec. Show you what's going on.
So that's it. That was basically just like 7 or 8 turns with the Langobards.
Could you end one more turn just so we can see your wolf spawn as well?
Oh yeah, of course.
Is that alright?
I don't need to do anything. Just end it.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Give them the tradition.
Yeah, fine. I'm sure those are both fine. Cool. Yeah, and then we'll just show a couple. Shame of defeat inside. Yes, we will. We will store the defeat inside ourselves. Yeah, but anyway, so just to recap, so we played as the Longbeards. We waged a quick war on the Saxons, which went well, but we, in doing so, we kind of annoyed the Angles just enough so they came down and started raiding in our territory, and then we had an unfortunate reverse at the hands of the AI and got defeated in an ambush battle.
Yeah.
It happens. But yeah, hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of the flavour of the start post. So, I mean, you can see what's happened is that we kind of, in a way, we kind of played against the faction traits, because the faction traits actually encourage you to fight people from other religions.
Yeah,
so
it's just they were raiding in our lands. We had to do something, but we shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't really even go for the Saxons, arguably.
Yeah. So I mean, if you want to stick right with the faction traits, you can make it. You can go and fight the Romans. You might have more advantage. There's all kinds of different ways you can go with it.
We don't have time to fight that out, so we just have to watch ourselves die, unfortunately. But I think that might have been winnable.
That battle?
Yeah, possibly.
Well, yeah, I think.
Because you had this garrison force, they were all full. These guys weren't full, but they were okay. Had an onager in there as well, so if you get them in a choke point, you just fire the onager down the streets at them. It is a walled city. Like, the only way they were going to come in without an onager was through the gate. So
you could have won that, possibly.
I think you could have won it, because they would have all had to come through one spot. Yeah. So I just don't think they could have won. And with the boiling oil and stuff. Oh, I don't know. No, we don't have boiling oil because we're barbarian, right?
No, it's not a developed enough thing.
But still, with the towers coming through one little spot, and we had an onager, I just aimed it down the street. I think we would have been okay. It would have been close. We just unfortunately don't have the time.
Yeah, no, we'll show some other stuff in.
We've sniped a general as well.
No, Josh is wearing the turtleneck, not Darren. That's Darren. I'm Josh. It's not a ninja costume, though it does ninja up if you put it. Which is good.
It's good for the freezing cold weather of Horsham.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Okay. Oh man. So there's Langobards separatists as well.
It's all gone. It's all gone.
It's really bad. It's okay.
Did we not get him?
No, it usually takes a couple of turns to spawn afterwards.
We'll end another turn then.
Yeah, well, I mean, we might be dead by then. Look at the separatists.
Oh, we're actually besieged?
Yeah. It's alright. I mean, people will see it when they play. Basically,
we'll just end the turn and see what happens.
Yeah? Okay.
Well, with 7,000, this is like a pitiful army. Can we raise an army? Oh, we can't, because it's under siege. We could raise one there, but there's no point, because it's in the other place.
Oh, well.
Right.
Let's just end there.
Outsmarted. When can we play the new content? Should be hopefully tomorrow. The target date is tomorrow, sometime in the morning, I think. So, but stay tuned to the Facebook and things like that.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/Total War.
Yeah.
And you'll see if there has been any delay. Hopefully it all goes smooth though, and it should be out tomorrow. And you can pre-order it now for 10% off. There's a link in the Twitch channel art. If you just go down and just click the Langobards or the Longbeards, it'll take you straight to the Steam page.
Yep.
To do that, and you can see like everything it offers in that description as well. We fleshed out the descriptions of the DLCs a bit more since before, so it shows you pretty much all the new units, the new buildings, the ancillaries, and the lay of your bore missions that you get.
Yeah.
Or dilemmas. And we're just gonna have a quick breeze through the factions now. If we don't get a bore this turn, I think.
Yeah, that's fine. Because they're set for to spawn in a random selection of turns. So, this is Darren.
I'm Darren.
Yeah.
I'm surprised people don't know because of my voice.
They've never seen you before, but yeah, the voice.
Yeah.
No, it will not affect your legendary campaign negatively. Don't worry about that.
We didn't get him. We'll just try one more turn real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
Darren is the Irish one.
Darren is the Irish one. We're under siege.
Yeah. We still have to live for them though. They moved. They didn't take it. The Angles.
Did they just sack it? Is that why our public order went so low?
I didn't even see. I don't know. Didn't read the messages.
That's fine. Yeah.
I just saw that we
So
didn't
many.
get the thing.
Oh well. Yeah. Anyway, hopefully you'll have more luck in your campaign. You can, send us some links to your save games when you've beaten them.
Yeah, because I'm only playing on hard though, so maybe that's the difference. But I've just never seen them just bomb out for a general like that before.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
good.
it's
I mean,
sharp,
they
it's
did.
smart.
I mean, they did exactly what a player should do anyway. Like I don't know what else you do to try and win in their situation. You know, outnumbered like 2-1. The ratio was like 90%. It was an obvious auto resolve, and they still won it. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen AI perform that well. It's just weird to say.
Here we go. Yeah. That's it.
So here we go.
Just basically get a little flips.
So, Ivor has returned. Each stride, each smile, each murmured greeting sends ripples through the packed throne room. Here you realize is a man who can bring great power to your kingdom. Set upon your political opponents and they will be struck dumb. Send them to the recruiting grounds and your armies will swell.
So
Sage
remember,
and recruit.
we picked the poet. We picked to save the poet, and then we picked to reason with the enemy armies. So we've obviously got a guy who is great at speaking, so we can see what he actually has as his traits. Let's have a look. There he is. You're a poet. Go down. All right, so let's have a look. His character. Okay, so straight away he's got full authority stacks, which brings some awesome bonuses. Big aura.
Plus morale 14 for the commander unit, plus 7 public order. He's intelligent.
And he's got Godin's tongue, which is the special trait which you get as a result of your decisions. So that's where you get the authority from.
Yeah.
He gets +5 influence from influence earning situations, -15 influence cost for using actions, and -20% recruitment cost for his own force. So there we go. So you can persuade people to join him. He's great at doing political actions. So if you want that guy, pick the chain that we used, or have a look and see what the other ones are like.
Oh right, he's in the other nobles. Yeah, I was thinking,
You can adopt him.
You
if you
adopt
want.
him, yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I do.
That's what I do. I mean, his
What's
loyalty
what's
is actually.
the red ring for? Is that
means
bad
he's-
loyalty?
Yeah, I mean, the loyalty it can end up anything. So obviously this guy, he's just
3,
not
yeah.
really a fan because.
But you can always raise it through political actions.
Yeah.
But that's cool though, because he might end up actually causing a civil war and leading his own kind of faction, which is quite cool.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the nice thing because of the random traits that spawn, he still has his own unique personality as well as what you've chosen.
Any news on the Blood and Gore DLC? It's been worked on, so it's on the way. No date though, I don't think at the moment.
Yeah.
All right, so add to the factions.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll have a quick recap. So as we said, we got 3 new factions, and they've each got their own distinctive, kind of like creative personality and their own like gameplay styles. So the Langobards.
Langobards we just played.
Yeah.
Emancipators, double unit replenishment when taking on troops post-battle, so obviously it's really good if you win a battle, which I hadn't done in the last hour. But in the first hour we won 2. And you could see that when we took on like 29% of the casualties that we sustained. Yeah, we got replenishment 29%. So.
Yeah, we got huge replenishment.
So it was like really makes a big difference in snowballing kind of your armies through their towns, so you can just kind of keep going and turn over much quicker. So I really like them for that. They're also like heavy infantry or focus, so we'll have a look at that in a moment. And then it's just +10 unit morale when fighting against armies of other religions, so it's good to actually just spread your wings a bit and go for like England and then the Romans and then beyond.
Also, eye patch before we move on.
Yeah, and he's easily the coolest looking one, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Elements.
So yeah, these guys are the Confederation of Kings. So they're all about showing off their wealth, their splendor. You can see this guy has a great jeweled circlet there, and yeah, so their traits are royal splendor, which means all of your generals have an enhanced radius. So that boosts their morale and increase zone. And frontiersmen, because they're right on the border with the Romans, they're used to fighting Romans, and they get increased quite a very strong buff to their melee attack versus Romans. So that encourages you to take quite a different path from the long days and head down into the Roman lands.
Just real quick, just turn it down. Yeah.
Sorry. And last one. Look at that hat.
Dead rabbit hat.
Yeah. Yeah. So these guys are kind of they're the hunt forager, kind of used to eking out a life in a hard place. So bred for the hunt, icy determination, unit replenishment +10, and 15% food for every region with poor fertility. means again you get quite a different gameplay style where you can stay up as the fertility decreases, and you can still profitably stay in those zones, whereas other people might have to move on.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like the way we were talking about at the start of the stream. Like,
Yeah.
they can stay around longer, like just like
Yeah.
you said. So when everyone else kind of fleets off down south, they actually have, because the fertility isn't as bad for them. It's actually like really helpful late game, and also for resettling in abandoned towns, because that lowers their fertility, but they don't have.
They are penalties.
Yeah.
And
So
you
you
can
essentially
see
just have a lot of
actually,
food.
and you can see their new spear as well. This is the barbed spear we were talking about earlier, which
Oh,
he's
right, yeah,
holding
yeah.
on to. So that's a special type of spear which does lots more damage than a normal one, but with worse AP. So that's kind of their signature weapon.
Mhm.
So yeah, let's have a look at the units by faction.
So.
Yeah, so for
Langobards.
the Langobards we've got.
So we had things like horse hewers, so
Yeah.
really good against cavalry, excellent attack against cavalry, good capture power, very poor missile block. They don't have any armor at all, right?
No, but they
Well,
have
like, on them.
they have guerrilla deployment, and they have the
Mhm.
frenzy charge ability. So the idea is that you kind of you try and lure the other guys into ambushes and attack with them. So they're slightly different from the spear units
Yeah.
in the way that you use them to fight.
They're like a very
cavalry.
specialized unit. They're kind of
Yeah.
bred for one thing.
But if you use them, if you can get them into a cavalry unit, charge in, they will just decimate them and destroy them very quickly. And they upgrade to a more powerful one with a shield, who's just there, that one, the horse slayers. Basically just a slightly more powerful version, more armor, and actually has a chance to block.
Yeah.
We have the clubmen, who we looked at. We had these in the game. They barely do any damage, but they're very, very tanky. Great armor, especially in comparison to the horse hewers. So they'll soak up a load of damage. You can use them as your holding units, and to complement your other guys. Then we've got the young wolves, who we used in game as well. These are an anti-ranged unit, great missile block chance, but again, not much armor, quite good damage, but low defense. So they're really best against enemy.
They also frighten enemy units. That's pretty interesting. I didn't know that carried over to Attila. I didn't see any units that had the scare trait.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Um,
There's just someone saying as well about
Oh.
the horse hewers. They're saying, would they not get decimated by a cavalry charge?
Yeah,
I think
they
I think it's more that they come in to fight cavalry from the rear or from the side once they're already engaged. Just cut them apart, and that's the idea
Yeah.
behind keeping them in the guerrilla deployment and putting them somewhere where the enemy wouldn't expect it. And then once they kind of give their cavalry the orders to charge, or if you can catch them off guard, you just cut them apart with that I don't know what that weapon is called. Do you know what it's called?
Just we call it a horse hewer sword.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's really
It's-
cool
it's custom
curved
to them.
sword.
Yeah, it's like a butcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're
So you
like
just carve them up.
they're basically a brand new type of anti-cav unit, and they're very different to spears in the way they play. And then these guys are like the signature guys, Godun's Chosen and Godun's Men, and they're awesome. They're berserker units, but they have more armor than the Norse berserkers. They're sort of very elite tribesmen who would kind of impersonate the god Odin and inspire the younger guys. So they have super high attack, they have incredible morale, and they have the berserk trait, so they'll occasionally go out of control and deal extra splash damage, which means that they can fight right down to the last man, especially
cool.
when you've got the last rank, which is really cool. Though again, they've got low missile block chance, so you have to use them in conjunction with other units like the young wolves to soak up the missile attacks and then attack with them. So you gotta think about it. That's what the Langobard kind of key thing is. It's all about using all the different specialized infantry to kind of complement each other because they all have weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the Langobards thing.
Anything else for these guys?
Yeah, so that's the Langobard. They're just all the specialist cavalry unit. So
Right, so we'll go to elements then.
yeah, so these guys are sorry. As I said before, they are all about using their generals and this squad, which is a very important squad for them, called the Dual Nobles, who are just like a tanky squad. You can recruit them early in the game, even though they're quite an elite unit, but they have a huge upkeep because they're duelled, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
They cost a lot of money, but they have an aura like a general, so they increase your morale. And the other units that they have, their other signature unit, which is if you go up a little bit higher, the Spearmen. If you compare some of the Spearmen to the existing Spearmen, you can see, so if you just click on one and then mouse over another, like mouse over the one next to it, the equivalent. So you can see that their attack damage is much higher than the German guys, but their morale is worse, their health is worse, and their armor is worse. So you want to basically use them in conjunction with your general and with your dual nobles. So you buff their morale up to an equivalent level, and they'll be a lot stronger. But if you fight them fight with the dual noble away, then they'll be weaker. So it's kind of a different dimension of play, basically.
The thing I was just looking at is that it says that there's scavengers. Are these like new guys? Scavengers?
Oh, yeah. These
These are
so these are the scavengers.
So each
spearmen.
one, yeah, all right. So there's scavenger, Alemannic scavengers, and elite Alemannic.
Yeah.
So
So
right.
you can see there's three new spearmen there, 3 different tools. And they all have the same. They all have the same thing, which is the low morale, which is compensated by the high attack, basically. So it's the trade-off. They have Protectores Defectors, another tanky unit. So they're all about tanky, powerful melee choices. So they'll win an endurance fight all the time. They have a very cool unit as well, the Skirmisher Cavalry, which we looked at earlier. The Skirmisher ones.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, the Raiders, John Barnes Raiders.
Raiders.
And these guys are just awesome. They have huge AP with their spears.
So they seem like to be one of the most elite units in the game.
Yeah, they're incredibly powerful, really, really strong. And so basically they give you the mobility to complement the kind of the iron core that the other units represent. And they also get a Caraballista, which is a nice change, captured Caraballista, which is like normally a Roman only choice, but you get access to it.
Move on to the Burgundians then?
Yeah, and Burgundians, again, these guys are more auxiliary units, so they have a lot of cavalry and a lot of ranged units, which are very unique. They have a really cool new addition, which is the slingers, the scattershot slingers, which fire... So instead of firing 1 projectile, they fire 3 at once, lower damage. So because all of our particles, all of our shots of projectiles are rendered independently, it really changes the way that damage is dealt, because they're firing 3 instead of 1, which is really cool. And on the first level they're quite weak, you can get them for 180, but then if you upgrade them, then they become very, very tanky units as well, so they're a hybrid line holding and...
yeah, I mean, like, their melee damage goes from 6 to 40, so yeah.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
armor goes from 10 to 65. Worth upgrading, I would say, but probably costs a lot to upkeep after you do that, so you want to be careful.
And then the other unit is the Javelin Men, which they have new Javelin Men, which also have guerrilla deployment, and they have this new barbed spear that I was talking about, which is the kind of signature weapon, which does loads of missile damage, but not very much AP. So they're kind of slightly different style to the traditional Javelin Men, which tend to have higher AP and lower damage. Cavalry, yeah. So they have 2 different types of cavalry. They have the sustained melee cavalry, which is the Burgundian mounted axemen, who have barely any charge bonus, but huge melee attack, great in sustained combat, and they have a lot of armor-piercing damage because they're axemen. Yeah. And they're in contrast to the shot cavalry, which are these new barbed lancers, which use the barbed weapon again, and royal lancers. Low AP, huge charge bonus.
That's the upgrade, is it?
Yeah, those 2. So they upgrade into each other. Yep. And they also have some specialist melee as well. They have the 2-handed axe melee, which is similar to the Nordic one, which are obviously no shields, weak to archer fire, but very powerful in combat, and they have warhounds as well. So they're kind of more of a hunter Nordic faction.
Cool. So that's pretty much it for the stream, guys. Thanks, Josh, as well, for helping me out, because I wouldn't have known all that stuff about all those units. There's actually quite a lot.
Yeah,
compared to previous culture packs and things in the past, this is really like one of the biggest ones I think you've ever done. It's like 7 or 8 units per faction, and then it's like new buildings and the story kind of dilemmas as well, where you get new generals. Just spices up your campaign a bit, so I think it's pretty well worth it.
There's a lot of new buildings as well. I didn't mention, but the Burgundians have a new farm chain, which gives them reduced upkeep in the provinces, so you can kind of use it. Yeah. You can use that province as a place to kind of build up armies, because it reduces upkeep, and a couple of other cool units. Buildings. You guys will see it as you play. Yeah.
So that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks very much for watching, and stay tuned to the Facebook, facebook.com/TotalWar, and our Twitter, which is twitter.com/TotalWar as well. And we'll keep you updated on when we're doing more streams, when the next DLCs are going live and things like that. This DLC should be out tomorrow. On Steam, you can follow the links in the chat down in the description of Twitch. You should be able to go straight to the Steam page, pre-order, you get 10% off. So it's worth doing if you're interested in it. Great. And that's pretty much it. So thanks, Josh.
My pleasure, yeah. Thanks, Darren, for having me.
Until next time. All right, thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it when you buy it tomorrow, because you're all going to buy it, right? Yeah.
Obviously.
Great.
All right, brilliant. Okay, see you now.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.